better than I've seen them defend ever.
Yeah, that is true. Actually, does this count as a nominal home game for Castleford, given the way that the fixture's written down? Do I not need to predict that they'll at least get 40 points?
No, I don't believe it works that way.
Fair play. Well, I'll keep it 36 then. But do not forget to make your Super Brew predictions, also make changes to your Dream Team lineups, and you can follow all the action as it happens over the weekend with our friends at SL Clubs on Twitter. I'm sure those boys will be there, keeping you up to speed on everything that's going on if you're out and about this weekend and can't sit in front of the television to watch everything in a row.
Send us your pictures if you're there and you meet any other of the Super League Pod family. Send us your pictures.
Yeah, let us know how your weekend has gone. Championship game of the week, Mark, what have you picked out for us?
Oldham versus Batley, by virtue of the teams that were the closest together in the table that are playing this week.
There you go. And League One game of the week hardly needs any introduction, does it?
Toronto versus Barrow Saturday. What a day Saturday is going to be.
Battle of Lamport.
We're going to talk about the NRL picks in a second, but we've got from 8:30 in the morning, basically, to, well, it'll be 10:30 at 9 by the time the game's finished at Lamport, or later. You've got a feast of rugby league to go through if you're not at the Magic Weekend.
You could have your own Magic Weekend, just sat at home on the couch, couldn't you?
Yeah, I think that's what might happen for me.
There you go. I have Erin this weekend, so she and I will be watching the highlights.
No.
Yes, she's told me that she's got plans for me this weekend that involve sticking things to paper. Yes, there we go. NRL Brit picks then.
Warriors versus Dragons on Friday at 9am. Do you know what? I'm putting him in just in case Widdop is back, and also you never know.
Tyler McCarthy might get called up,
even though he's coming back to Super League next year. So we'll see where he lands. Titans versus Sea Eagles Saturday at 8:30am. You should see Joe Greenwood in that one. And a good Sea Eagles side this year. It's good to watch. Eels versus Raiders on Saturday 10:30am. We want to bounce back from our boys in the Green Machine. Knights versus the Panthers Sunday at 5am. If you're up early for any reason, watch Joe Wardle and see how he gets on. Bulldogs versus Roosters Saturday at 7am, and Rabbitohs versus Sunday at 7am, and Rabbitohs versus Sunday at 9:30am.
Hell of a lot of rugby league for you to get through this weekend. That is your Super League pod for the week. All that remains for us to do is wrap up the show. Okay, so we're coming to the end of another fantastic episode of the Super League Pod, and it's time for this week's trivia, Mark. I was bracing myself for a kicking last week, and I did better than I ever have. So now I expect you to bite back.
Well, you've had a couple of good weeks, so I brought along. We did rugby league.
Big guns.
We did rugby league brothers early in the season. I've got part 2 of that. Yeah, so it's 5 pairs of brothers from the clues. I'm going to start off easy and then get tougher, and I think a couple of these aren't going to be. I think you might struggle with a couple of them, I hope.
Well, yeah, exactly. I expected a backlash.
So we start with the easiest one. These brothers.
Oh, come on, don't frame it like that, because if I don't get this one, then I'm totally egged out for the rest of the segment.
These brothers partnered each other in the halves to win the 1997 ARL Grand Final, as well as playing together in New South Wales Origin games. Both also played in Super League.
Johns.
Yes.
There you go.
First names.
Andrew and... What the fuck is his name? Why can't I say his name?
Don't know.
Tell me his name.
You're not getting full points until you say it.
Oh, do you know,
he has a show on like...
I know. I can see.
He's got his whole name in it. His first name and his surname.
I can see his bloody... I'll just tell me his name.
Matty.
Thank you, Martin John. Oh, God, that was... Right, I think that counts, though.
Yeah, okay.
The Johns brothers.
Yeah.
There we go. Right.
No, I want the names of the brothers, though. We're not having just surnames. Come on. Let's get serious. I'm
already getting... Listen, I already know that I'm going to get up and go for a poo in the morning, and I've got half of the bloody Australian listenership on me for not knowing Matty Johns.
New Zealand internationals who currently play together at Melbourne Storm. One of them won't be playing.
One of them won't be playing
anymore this year, and don't actually currently play together because one of them isn't currently playing.
The Proctors?
No,
the other one.
You know this. You know this.
I know. It's on the tip of my tongue. I don't like Australian Rugby League, Mark. I don't like it when you ask me questions about them because my knowledge is pretty superficial.
Well, the next two are UK-based ones. So.
Great. Well, this will be an improvement. Right, who was that then? Just say it. It's all right. Look, it's fucking hard.
One of them's called Jesse.
Tech. It's the Bromwiches. Thank you. Oh.
And the other one's called?
Fucking. It could be called Kevin for all I know. Kenny. There you go.
Okay. Number 3.
I'm fucking having a shit to it.
Do you know what though? I thought I'm coming back at you strong. The next two are the ones where I thought I was coming back at you strong. Not the easy ones I've already just been through.
Not the sorbet against the palate. Here comes the steak.
Former Wigan juniors who also played together at Oldham, Widnes and Hunslet.
Chapel House.
No, one of them's now a coach. Former Wigan juniors who also played together at Oldham, Widnes and Hunslet.
Saying it slowly
and I think
doesn't
one of them
change
coached
it.
the other at Whitehaven.
Just don't tell me the answer because other people will want to tweet in, won't they? I don't know, Mark.
Okay. These Scottish brothers...
I'll tell you what.
These Scottish
brothers...
brothers...
Are they actually Scottish?
Yes.
Oh,
well, they play for Scotland.
No, well, that's not the question I asked you.
These Scottish brothers also play together for Workington Town.
Oh, fuck are those two called?
One's a halfback, one's a back rower.
I aren't getting it.
If I gave you the first names, would you get the surname? Do you think?
Don't know, Mark. Probably not. I think it's the surnames I need to hear.
We'll catch it up later then.
All right, go on then. That was great.
And then finally,
cracking segment. Let's keep going.
Well, to be honest, how the fuck you didn't get Jesse and Kenny Bromwich is beyond me.
I'm tired.
Australian brothers who played together in 2 spells at Parramatta. The younger and more decorated player played his full career for the Eels. Again, media personality on NRL shows in Australia.
Not Hindmarsh, is it? Mm-hmm. Is it Nathan Hindmarsh?
And
his brother?
Ian.
Fucking Ian or Neil.
Right, you got the Hindmarshes then.
Great. I feel like I've really superseded my own abilities this week.
Everyone's had enough chance to get the ones that you haven't.
So go on, let's go through the ones I haven't got then. So what am I on? About half marks?
No, you got 2. You got
2.5.
2 out of the 5.
2.5. I got a Bromwich.
You didn't get a Bromwich. You said, "Is it the Proctors?" Oh no, it's not.
Right, so I got a Bromwich then.
No,
listen, just because I'm showing my working out.
No.
You get points for showing your working out.
You didn't get Jesse and Kenny Bromwich. I'm not giving you that one.
Right. Well, I get the Johns and I get the Hindmarshes.
Right. The Wigan juniors.
I'm calling this 2.5.
Well, I'm not.
Right. Well then. Well, who are the Wigan juniors that played for everyone? Had more clubs.
James and Thomas were the first names.
Great.
No, still not ringing a bell. Coyle.
Oh, right. It rings a bell now you've said the names, but I would have sat here all night and done that.
Scottish international brothers, Workington Town players, Brett and Callum.
I was going to say Kim Morley. Go on, what are they called?
Phillips.
Don't count now. I could have sat here all night.
Wow, so I went from too easy to too hard, didn't I?
I could have sat here all night and not done that.
Right, we'll balance it out next week with something.
Just about, Charlie. That was just about on the.
You need to get your NRL out on next week because I think I might have some Origin ones might be coming up over the next few weeks.
Great.
I'm not sure exactly when I'm going to drop them in, but over the next few weeks, some Origin linked ones.
Well, let's see. Excellent. Well, if you've not recently had a stroke, you've probably done better than me in this week's quiz. So let us know how you got on, and I'm looking forward to my morning dump where I will be roundly abused by at least Froggers and. Who else listens?
Darts.
Froggers, Darts, Rich.
Yeah.
I'm expecting a fair bit of abuse. So I'll see. Listen, lads, I'll see you in a few minutes because by the time you download this and listen and give me a bit of stick, I'm usually getting up anyway. So I'll be back to you in a few minutes, lads. Nice one. Mark, any recommendations this week and what's coming up for us on the Super League pod?
Well, it's Magic Weekend.
It is.
So, in terms of match reviews, I'm tempted to keep them open a little bit longer.
Okay.
But that makes me struggle getting them in the rundown.
Right.
So, normally we cut them off at 10 o'clock on the Sunday night. I think what I'm going to do is switch it off at 8 a.m. on the Monday morning.
Right. So
to
you've got
give
that
people who are
extra
at
time.
the Magic Weekend more chance to get their game reviews in.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, outside of that, pretty much normal stuff. I guess we want to hear people's
stories from
dream teams. Any different to what we came up with earlier on, and then tales of magic.
Yeah, absolutely. We want to hear your magical tales.
And Tim G's follow-up Toronto stories.
Yeah,
from the rest of his week after the rugby finished.
Exactly.
Did he run into any Wolfpack ultras on his journeys around the CN Tower and whatnot?
There you go. It'll be interesting to see. The ultras are out in force. Have you got anything to recommend for us this week, Mark? Any SLP recommends?
No, I have not done anything new this week.
I started watching Line of Duty, which is a BBC series. It's about 4 years old now.
There's a recent series.
Bit late to the party. We've started watching the 4th series because I think it's one of those ones where you can. I think there's undercurrents in terms of the story, but actually each series is a bit of a standalone thing, and it's been tremendous. Very, very entertaining. Fanny Newton's in it, and it's been very mysterious so far. So
she got her tits out all the time. Like
she has
in Westworld.
Got her tits out all the time.
Like she did in Westworld.
She did get out quite a bit in Westworld, didn't she? But I think the story called for it. I don't think Fanny Newton's. She's a sufficiently good actress to not need to get her knuckles out.
Oh yeah, so. There was the odd time she was in her dress and then next time just wasn't for no explainable reason.
Yeah, exactly. But Westworld was fabulous.
Yeah.
But yeah, Line of Duty I recommend this week. How do the nice people get in touch with us if they're not doing a game review and want to interact with their two favourite rugby league podcasts?
Well, first of all, they should be doing game reviews.
Well, if they're not currently doing a game review, having done their game review, so they've done their own work and now they want to have some fun.
At Super League Pod on Twitter and Instagram, Tom. What happened to that?
What do you want me to do? I'll tell you what, fine, we'll do some Instagramming this weekend.
Well, I don't know. You bigged it up that you were going to get the Instagram rolling.
And when
the kids like the pictures, Tom.
In 2 weeks' time, where are we going?
The summer bash. You'll have run out of fucking data, won't you?
We'll be Instagram. No, I pay my bill on the 23rd. We'll be Instagramming from the summer bash because you and I will be there together.
Yeah.
Actually,
that's a good point. We should talk, even though it's coming up in 2 weeks' time, we should talk about that.
Yes.
If there is anyone who's on the fence maybe about coming up to the summer bash still.
Let us push you off it.
Do think about coming up because it is a cracking weekend. All these people talking about wishing they saw more Championship rugby and that sort of thing. I know you'll be able to see it on TV anyway, but this is your opportunity to see it in the flesh. Yeah. Interact. It should be a fun day. Fun weekend, sorry. Yeah. And we'll be there.
Yeah.
And we'll be easily to spot because I guess we'll be rocking our SLP jerseys again.
We will.
Facebook.com/Super League Pod. Last week I tried a thing out where I put the news up. This week all the news broke 2 minutes before the show.
Yeah.
So there wasn't really, no one really cared for me to put up. Wigan have re-signed 2 players and Webster's signed his extension.
Yeah.
No one was going to talk much about those things, but I'll try and do that again for next week if there's been sufficient stories. superleaguepod@gmail.com is our email address if you want to get in touch with us that way. If you're not a social media type or just want to send us an email, that's fine. Tom, we got a tweet in whilst we were doing the show.
Oh, I like this.
Made me laugh. So
Great.
we're resurrecting tweet of the week for a one-off encounter, and it was from Paul at Albany85.
Good. Regular listener and contributor. Thank you, Paul.
Yeah, his contributions are great. We'll probably get in touch more. He said to us, just bought this week's League Weekly, and is it odd that I read the news section in Tom's voice?
No, it's not. Look at that. I hope he reads the last 3 words very, very slowly. Then you're getting it about right. Oh, as long as that's the only thing you're doing with my voice in your head, then I'm happy. That'll do for me, that. Tweet of the week.
Every time someone has like a pork pie late at night, your voice will come into the...
Do you know what? I had a late night pork pie in fucking weeks. I don't know why you get this impression of me as a late night snacker. I'm a reformed character, Mark.
No, it was you telling the story.
Oh yeah,
that gave us the impression.
I know, but I've cut back on the pork pies.
Right, until maybe when you get another radio bit coming along.
Yeah, I'm surprised they've not offered me I was expecting
a residency.
I was expecting contract offers and all sorts of shit.
You'd have been ditching me, wouldn't you? Like
a bad habit. I'd have dropped you like a sock. I wouldn't. I'd take you with me. You can ride my
coattails.
No, well that's
far. Where we're going?
No, I realised as soon as I started to say that is exactly the opposite of what happened on the Super League pod.
When I met Rob he's a big podcast aficionado. Like I said, he said it always seems with podcasts like there's one that just turns up and wheels his way through it, and there's someone else who does absolutely everything.
There you go. That's it. There's always one right loudmouth show off, and then there's the brains of the operation. Rob,
well, we've got two loudmouths.
We've got two loudmouths, but fortunately we do have
one's
the brains.
The show off and one's the brains.
We do have one brains of the operation, and it is Mark Illingworth, and you want to hear his thoughts